The night had already begun to fade when the last echoes of applause dissolved into the quiet corridors of the grand venue that had hosted the legendary Blue Dragon Film Awards. The red carpet had been rolled away, the flashing cameras had dimmed like distant lightning fading behind clouds, and the glamorous crowd slowly disappeared into black cars waiting beneath the cold glow of street lamps. For most people watching the broadcast, the story ended when the cameras stopped rolling. But sometimes the most unforgettable stories begin exactly when the cameras stop watching. Inside the vast backstage halls, the atmosphere felt strangely calm compared to the roaring energy of the ceremony. Assistants moved swiftly, stylists gathered gowns and tuxedos, and actors exchanged polite bows before leaving the building. Yet in one quiet hallway lined with soft golden lights, two familiar figures stepped into the same corridor at almost the exact same moment. Jun-ho had just finished greeting a few producers when he turned the corner, his expression calm, yet thoughtful after the long night. Not far away, walking with the elegance fans had adored for years, was Yoon-ah. For a brief moment, neither seemed to expect the encounter. The hallway fell silent. No reporters, no cameras, no audience. Just the quiet echo of footsteps and the soft glow of dim lights reflecting off marble floors. For many fans, the magic of their connection had started long before this moment, during the filming of King the Land, where their characters created one of the most beloved romances in modern K-drama history. On screen, their chemistry had felt effortless. Off-screen, their friendship had always appeared warm yet mysterious. And now, standing face to face in a quiet corridor long after the ceremony ended, the atmosphere carried the same gentle tension fans had always imagined. "Long night," Jun-ho said softly, breaking the silence. Yoon-ah smiled, the kind of smile that looked familiar to anyone who had watched their countless behind-the-scenes moments during the drama's promotions. "It always is," she replied. Their voices echoed slightly in the hallway, blending with the distant sound of staff members preparing to leave the venue. For a few seconds they simply stood there, sharing the strange calm that comes after a long and glamorous event. To outsiders, it might have looked like an ordinary conversation between colleagues. But sometimes ordinary moments hold something deeper beneath the surface. "Did you enjoy the ceremony?" she asked. "It felt nostalgic," he admitted. And perhaps it truly did. Because nights like these often remind actors of the journeys they've taken, the roles they played, the memories they created, and the people they met along the way. For Jun-ho and Yoon-ah, one of those journeys would always lead back to King the Land. During the filming of that drama, fans across the world had fallen deeply in love with the warmth of their character's story. Their laughter during interviews, their playful teasing during press conferences, and their effortless comfort around each other had made viewers believe that the connection between them might extend beyond the script. Even after the drama ended, the fascination never truly disappeared. Every appearance, every interview, every accidental meeting at public events. Fans watched closely, hoping to glimpse something that might reveal the truth behind the chemistry they had witnessed on screen. And here they were again, standing together in a quiet hallway while the world outside believed the story had already ended. "Do you remember the hotel scene?" Jun-ho asked suddenly, a faint smile forming. Yoon-ah laughed softly. "Which one?" "There were many." "Too many," he replied. For a moment their laughter filled the corridor, echoing gently off the walls like a memory refusing to fade. It was a sound that felt strangely familiar, as if time had briefly returned to the days when they spent hours together filming emotional scenes, rehearsing dialogue, and sharing jokes between takes. Somewhere nearby, a door opened as a group of staff members passed through the hallway, bowing politely when they noticed the two stars standing together. Yet even that brief interruption could not completely erase the atmosphere lingering between them. "What are you working on next?" she asked. "A new project soon," he answered. "You'll do great," she said. The conversation was simple, almost ordinary. But sometimes simplicity is what makes a moment feel real. Outside the building, fans were already uploading videos from the ceremony, analyzing the smallest interactions captured on camera earlier that night. Online forums buzzed with speculation, theories, and excitement. What those fans didn't realize was that one of the most interesting moments of the night had happened far away from the cameras. Back inside the hallway, the quiet conversation continued. "You've been busy too," Jun-ho said. "A little." "I'm Yoon-ah," replied modestly. Another pause followed.
Not awkward.
Not uncomfortable. Just quiet. Some moments between people do not need constant conversation. Sometimes the silence itself becomes part of the connection. Finally, footsteps echoed from the entrance of the corridor as a manager approached, reminding them that their cars were waiting outside. The spell of the quiet hallway slowly began to dissolve. "Well," Yoon-ah said gently, "see you around." Jun-ho nodded.
See you.
They exchanged polite bows, the kind that actors often share after finishing a conversation at public events. Yet as they walked in opposite directions towards separate exits, something about the moment lingered in the air like the final note of a song that refuses to disappear. Outside, the city lights glittered against the night sky. Cars drove away one by one, carrying celebrities back to their homes while fans around the world continued replaying clips from the ceremony. Online discussions intensified. People debated the meaning of a glance captured earlier during the broadcast. Some believed it was simply a friendly acknowledgement. Others believed it hinted at something deeper. The truth remained known only to the two people who had shared that quiet hallway conversation long after the cameras stopped rolling. But perhaps that mystery is exactly what keeps the world fascinated. Because stories like theirs do not rely on dramatic confessions or shocking revelations. Instead, they live in smaller moments. A glance across a crowded room. A shared laugh in a quiet corridor. A memory of a drama that brought two actors together and left fans wondering if the story truly ended. And somewhere inside the memory of that night at the Blue Dragon Film Awards, beyond the lights and applause, one simple truth remained. When the cameras stopped rolling, the story didn't completely end. It simply continued quietly, just like the stories that came before, and just like the ones fans believe may still be unfolding.